Hello, my name's Jessica Hinson from Lincolnshire Sensory Services. I'm here with Claire, and she works for Lincolnshire Carers Service. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to find out a little bit more about your role and the service that you can deliver. Over to you, Claire.
Thank you. My name's Claire. I'm a team leader with the Lincolnshire Carers Service, which is a service designed to support unpaid carers in Lincolnshire. It's commissioned by the County Council, and there are two providers under the umbrella of the Lincolnshire Carers Service. So there's ourselves, the carers team, and we also work in collaboration with Carers First. So the service itself is really whatever the carer needs it to be. It's not very specific in the sense that there's niche services. It is all about making sure that an unpaid carer is supported in their caring role. So an unpaid carer could be absolutely anybody. It's usually a friend or a family member who is looking after husband, wife, parent, child, and that person that they're looking after could have a whole range of disabilities or additional needs. So that could include general frailty and old age, a physical disability, a learning disability, mental health problems, maybe addiction issues with substance misuse or alcohol, or a sensory impairment. Our remit is really to look after that carer and support them to make sure that they're able to continue in their caring role, and that they feel supported and that their needs are not being neglected.
That's great. Thank you, Claire. So you're supporting carers. So what kind of support can you offer them?
It really is very bespoke. So how the system works is that we will receive an initial referral, and that may have come from the carer themselves. It may have come from another family member, the person they look after, or it could be another professional who's involved with the family. And once we've got that initial referral, we will then arrange to have a conversation with that carer to talk about them. So we will find out a little bit about them, their family, their situation, their work, things that maybe they used to do that they want to do more of, or things that they no longer want to be doing in relation to the caring role maybe. Once we've got that background information, we can start to look to see what barriers there are preventing them from doing what they want to be doing, and we will help them to find solutions to that.
That's great. So solve some issues. So when you're saying maybe if they go into maybe if they want to attend a club that they used to go to, would you find somebody to look after the person that they're caring for? How does that work?
Potentially. There are a number of things that we can tap into. The first thing we're going to look at is the family and the support that they've already got around them to see whether any of that can help. Quite often people are reluctant to ask their family for help when actually they would like to help them. So we'll always have that conversation and eliminate the obvious things first. If necessary, we can start to look at putting more formal care and support in place. So we can offer a statutory carers assessment. However, there's an awful lot that can be done without the need for someone to have a full assessment of their needs. We can offer emergency planning. So maybe that person or that carer is reluctant to go out because they worry about something happening to them and there not being someone there to look after the person that they normally look after. We can put a plan in place whereby we can identify them, we can contact other family members or friends, or if necessary, social care, to put a plan in place if they are unexpectedly taken out of the caring role. It might be that they need practical support to get to something like transport, and we can look at that. We can look at benefits support to help with finances, and we would look at the whole family rather than an individual in isolation, because quite often we find that there are different benefits that are better for a family's perspective rather than if we look at one person in isolation. We run support groups for carers to attend. We can give them access to that. And now, following lockdown, there's an awful lot of social media and online groups and things like that that people can access as well.
Are you offering home visits at the moment? I know we're in the period of restrictions, but if you received a referral, would you be able to carry out a home visit, or is it via the telephone at the moment?
Well, the carers team do all of their work via the telephone. However, our partners Carers First would normally offer face-to-face visits. Obviously, at the moment, that's more difficult, but they are doing some meetings via Zoom, and they have, in some cases, managed to arrange for a more informal meeting where perhaps they've been able to go for a walk with someone in a public place. So not the best setting to discuss personal details, but at least they can make some contact, have a general conversation, and try to get something in place to support that person.
Great. So is there a restricted amount of time that you can support somebody from the time that you get the referral? Is it short term or long term?
No, it's long term. It's as long as that carer needs us. So if after that initial contact and conversation, we can resolve all of their problems or offer them solutions at that point, then that's what we will do. And the carer can come back to us at any point with any other further issues or problems that they might have. If their issues are a little bit more complex and require more significant support putting in place, they're the ones we would take to a statutory assessment and formulate a proper support plan. Where the support plan's been put in place, we then carry out regular reviews. And again, we'll keep that running indefinitely for as long as the carer needs us to.
Oh, that's great. Could you explain a little bit more about the emergency card, so the red card?
Yes. So this is the contingency plan that I mentioned before. So how this works is we would work with a carer and the person they're looking after to determine what kind of support that carer is normally providing, and to look to see what would happen if that carer was not available and who else could support in an emergency situation. So it may be that there are other friends or family that would be willing to step up and help out or take over altogether, and we can liaise with them if necessary. Or if they don't have that support network, then we would start looking towards social care and the more formal support mechanisms. Any support that we put in place that's formal, we will pay for 48 hours, or if it's a bank holiday weekend, up to 72 hours. And then beyond that point, if it needs to continue, if the emergency situation hasn't been resolved, we would work with adult social care or children's social care to make sure that the necessary support continued and was maintained. However, at that point, it may be subject to a financial assessment.
Great. I think you've covered everything. So thank you so much for giving us all the information.
You're welcome.
I hope the deaf community can benefit from this information and see what you can offer them. So thank you.
Thank you. It's good to talk to you all again.
Thank you.